Imagine you are locked in a small room with no way out, and the only people you see are those who control you. Would your personality change? Would you lose yourself? This is not a scene from any movie, but something that happened in real psychological experiment. Hello everyone, this is Swati and today we are going to dive into one of the most controversial studies in psychology, the Stanford Prison Experiment. What does this experiment reveal about power, authority, and the dark side of human behavior? Let's explore. In 1971, Professor Philip Zimbardo of Stanford University set out to answer a powerful question. Can ordinary people turn cruel when placed in positions of authority? In the context of the turbulent 70s in America, issues of power and control were everywhere, from civil rights movements to protests against the Vietnam War. Zimbardo wanted to understand what happens when normal individuals are given complete authority over others. Zimbardo transformed the basement of Stanford University into a mock prison. He advertised for volunteers and 24 male college students were chosen. Some were randomly assigned to be prisoners, while others became guards. For 2 weeks, these young men were supposed to play their roles. The prisoners were stripped of their identities, they were given numbers, not names, and had to wear uncomfortable smocks like a long shirt. On the other hand, guards were given uniforms, batons, and sunglasses to create a sense of power and anonymity. On the first day, everything was calm. The prisoners didn't take their role seriously, and neither did the guards. But by day two, things changed. The guards started using psychological tactics to control the prisoners. They made them do push ups, humiliated them, and deprived them of basic needs. In less than 48 hours, the guards, who were just regular college students, turned cruel and manipulative. A moment that truly stood out was when one prisoner, who was known by his number 8612, started showing signs of severe emotional distress. He begged to leave, but Zimbardo, who was also playing the role of the prison superintendent, convinced him to stay. The lines between reality and the experiment were getting blurred. Now, think of any power imbalance situation we have seen, whether in schools, workplaces, or even homes. The Stanford experiment shows that it doesn't take much for someone to misuse authority. The experiment, planned for 2 weeks, was stopped after just 6 days. It became clear that the guards had become sadistic and the prisoners were emotionally shattered. A young PhD student, Christiana Mashla, visited the prison and was shocked by what she saw. She convinced Zimbardo to stop the experiment immediately. The findings were shocking. Ordinary people had turned abusive, and prisoners had internalized their roles of helplessness. Zimbardo's findings showed that when people are placed in situations where they have power over others, many will abuse that power. This has been seen time and again in our own society, whether in the actions of corrupt officials, hierarchical family structures, or caste based discrimination. So, what did the Stanford Prison Experiment teach us about human behavior? It is a powerful reminder that we are all vulnerable to the influence of social roles and situational factors. This experiment also shows how quickly people can dehumanize others when given power. This is not just an American phenomenon, it applies universally. The caste system, patriarchy, or even power dynamics in politics showed how individuals in powerful positions often misuse their authority, while those at the bottom often feel trapped. This psychological concept of situational power resonates with stories we hear across the places where abuses of power can lead to tragic outcomes. In today's world, we see similar patterns of authority and obedience everywhere. Whether it is a boss who abuses their position or a senior government official who mistreats subordinates, the Stanford Prison Experiment's findings are more relevant than ever. The Stanford Prison Experiment will always be remembered for showing us how easily human nature can be influenced by social roles. It serves as a reminder to question authority and be mindful of how power can affect behavior. What are your thoughts on the Stanford Prison Experiment? Have you ever experienced situations where power was misused? Let me know in comments. Until next time, bye.